Welcome to Ramsey to talk more about the recent problems that have been highlighted by this new pressure group on the greenways of the Isle of Man. Richard, I mean, we've talked before now, and we've got some pictures we've shot.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's getting no better, or is it actually getting worse?
No, the damage is getting worse each year. It's worse. The very wet summer we had last year has exacerbated the damage. The ground was softer, the bikes were up there, and they just caused more ruts. So it's not improving at all.
Now, you were a bit of a lone voice in the past. Now you've got you together with this new group, and more pressure there being added?
Yes, there's a. I realised last year that there were other people out there who were prepared to do something, so I formed a group, and there's now a good number of us who are very concerned about this and want change from the government. Yes.
Now we've got this double-edged sword on the whole thing, because you've got the tourism people who are actually encouraging people to come over and to ride their bikes because there's more freedom here than in the UK.
Yes.
And hoteliers are doing good business at this as well.
Yeah, there are several organisations on the island who are making money out of organising trips for people to come over and taking them out on trails. We've actually brought this now to the attention of the tourism department because they need to look at this. And there are, I'm afraid, comments on the tourism website which encourage people to come over. They say there's 120 odd kilometres of unmade up roads which you can trail ride on, and this is something that they need to look at.
Well, we're looking at some of the very latest pictures, the stills you sent us here, which obviously it's where there's soil involved, I suppose, whereas if they're on hard rock, it's not going to be the same damage, is it?
Well, this is it. We're not against off-road biking per se. There are tracks on the island, and there's a lot of miles of tracks on the island, probably close to 50 odd miles of tracks, which could be used by bikes and not much damage would happen. It's the soft grass lanes that are most being damaged at the moment, and this network of beautiful tracks across the island needs to be rescued and saved because they are beautiful, but they're not able to withstand the heavy pressure of powerful vehicles.
I mean, in the UK they have shut a lot of these down.
Yes.
That's why they're here.
Yeah.
But is it more of a responsibility with people taking more care of their actions? I mean, some sort of group to be formed that can take their own responsibility for this, or is it just closures in your mind?
I think in the end the government is going to have to look at closing these lanes. You can always say it's that most people are responsible and it's a few people are doing this. The trouble is it's also the numbers of off-road bikes that are using these lanes, and they go down furrows, not sort of each one causing a lot of damage, but when that furrow gets too deep they create another furrow to the side. When that's too deep it hits the footrest on the bike, they go off and make another furrow, and they're now into the heather along which runs alongside the tracks because the tracks are so badly damaged themselves. And the thing is, Paul, is that it is very dangerous for walkers now to use it. I actually fell down into one of the ruts myself as I was walking along it and severely twisted my ankle. And only after 2 weeks has it come back. Horse riders are another users of these lanes who cannot go up there anymore. It is far too dangerous to take a horse on there. You will break legs and ankles, and I've been told by horse riders we would love to use these tracks but we can no longer use them because it's much too dangerous. You had a horse killed near Andreas last year by a car, and the reason given was the fact that they can no longer use the green lanes. They have to use main roads.
Okay, well, we're going to follow this story. I mean, we're going to go up and see some more of the damage. And you're documenting this all the time, aren't you, as well?
Yes. We've launched our website, iomgreenlanes.co.uk. There's over 560 pictures on there of the damage of the tracks. There's videos also, which have been posted on YouTube, mostly by groups of bikers who come over from England to show their wonderful time over here, but also the damage that they do when they come over. They seem proud of the fact they can go around ripping up our lanes, and that's something that the Isle of Man government is going to have to seriously look at and come up with ways to stop marauding groups of bikers coming over here and tearing up our fabric our country.
Well, we've seen some of those videos as well. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's maybe this where you can attitude to the Isle of Man. You know, to be free and open and let
Yeah.
everyone have a good time, but you can't have it.
I think part of the problem is that the people who make these decisions don't actually go up on the tracks and see the damage for themselves. I've myself have for years been trying to get this out in the wider domain and asking them to go and have a look, and they haven't been. And I took a senior minister,
Mr. Cretney?
Mr. Cretney, yes, up there to show him, and he was quite surprised. I don't think he had any idea that it was that bad. I know that's no criticism, Mr. Cretney. He's a busy man. He has lots of things to be looking after. But I think when he saw it with his own eyes, he was quite amazed actually how bad they were, how deep the ruts were, and how this is a serious problem that they need to address.